Heyo, Rivals 2 dropped its patch 1.0.2 patch today. It's pretty small, and I wanted to make a really quick video going over it, so it shouldn't be too long since it's mostly just bug fixes. Let me know in the comments if you like these kind of patch updates, even for patches this small. This one's really kind of a nothing burger patch, but there's a few fun things in it for improvements to the game overall. So let's go ahead and check it out. To start, the devs say, it's February and love is in the air. And so is that Rana you just bodied. Today, our February event, LastStock, kicks off from the 4th to next month. This month's free event track will net players some lovely new items, including the Hearts Arcane skin, LastStock platform, Heartsplosion Death Effect, Tuxedo Rano emote, and more. Be sure to check out the event trailer below to see everything in action, delivered by a dashing Orby in a hat. I will say I'm really happy that Orby's back. I hope he does the tutorials. I actually haven't played the tutorials that are in the game yet, because I know how to play, like at least a basic level. But let me know if he's in there. I might go actually do a video over those just for y'all to see. Using all the skins like normal will give you 20% bonus to the track, as well as Ladybug Crag, Dalmatian Forest Burn, and Tuxedo Rano, which is kind of neat. These skins, we don't really have a whole lot of skins like these in the game so far. These are kind of like more goofy, more silly, more comical skins, which I think is fun. But I think that if down the line we only get skins like these, I'd be a little bit bored of them. But these are the first kinds of like more like camp skins that we've seen in the game so far, so I'm very okay with them. My favorite is probably the Fleet. I think hers looks really good, but there's a lot of really cool Fleet skins coming out, so I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this one up. And the Arcane, I actually really like. I think he's like so ugly and so awful looking that it's like almost good, you know? Like it's kind of like if you have like a really ugly outfit and then it just kind of like works because it's like, wow, that's so bad. It's like no one would wear that but you know? It's so Arcane, you know? They go on to say, speaking of things that we love, we also have a brand new character select screen making its debut today. Players will find fresh new art and increased mouse functionality for selecting characters and player slots. Our first big menu update released in December with our replay menu rework, and we're excited to keep improving the game as we check stuff out for our development roadmap. This menu is weird looking with characters missing on it. I'm a little bit confused why they went ahead and launched this menu. I'm actually going to put footage of me hopping into the game right here. Okay, so it has like a different colored background, which I like. I didn't really like how jarring the background was. I do like the different character arts. I think they all look a little bit more uniform now than some of the arts on the other page. However, I would almost like to see a few of them still change. Like, Forest Burn looks kind of tiny, you know? I kind of miss like the larger icons. They filled up the screen a little bit better. If you click these sections, nothing weird happens. And if you click random, oh, okay, once you click your character, the screen lights up. That's actually really sick. Let me see, if I pick a CPU, then okay, so both players have to pick, and then it lights up whenever you're ready to play. That's super sick. Overall, the screen looks like pretty cool. As is, I am just curious who will fall into these like spots and how soon we'll get them. I assume it'll be like a year and a half or so to get 5 characters, right? Yeah, so like that'll be like next summer we'll be seeing the full menu. I do wonder if they'll keep it that way. Speaking of the menu though, I did notice that they had this special Arcane skin down here. And this is actually a skin from Rivals 1 with some pretty cool effects on it, and it was actually my go-to skin. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that one. But that's enough of me rambling about cool Genesis X or Arcane skins, and we'll get back to the main video. See y'all there. I'm not really like a big fan of the missing characters, but I do want to make a video coming up soon talking about potential characters coming up, especially like the Dungeons cast. So comment and tell me what characters you guys think will fill out these slots, because I can't imagine that they would like make like slots for more air characters and more earth characters, and then we get another fire character right away, you know, even if that's not the devs' priority. Moving on to the balance changes though, they do remind people to leave feedback on the note board and send bugs, and I'm going to remind you, if you like the content, you should leave a like and subscribe and comment, and maybe use my code in game. That'd be so awesome. But in the general section, it says, new character select screen added, so this is like fully in game, I guess. Menu and character boxes have been updated with new art, which I love to see. The mouse can now be used to select characters, add players, and CPUs, which I think is cool. I've always had trouble in the past where it's like, if I'm on my controller, it feels kind of natural to pick up my mouse, maybe to add a CPU, you know? So that's kind of neat. They added alternate victory lines for Clarin, Fleet, Maple, Forest Burn, Edalus, and Loxodon, I guess this means like it's like they'll kind of like rotate what they say now. Kind of similar to where like Edalus, he had like multiple lines he could say on the win screen. They say his shield stun values are now properly reset when you get pushed off the edge of a platform while in shield. This fixes a bug that would cause the next attack on opponent's shield to have the same shield stun value of the attack that pushed the player off a platform. That's kind of interesting to me, I guess. I didn't know this was a problem. For Maple, they say Lily will no longer give opponents 10 frames of knockback armor when wrapping them. This caused Maple's attacks to do no knockback if she hit the opponent within 10 frames of Lily wrapping them. I've never seen this before, I don't think, but I could definitely imagine this would be like a big problem, especially if you're like really fast with Maple, you know what I mean? Forceburn, all they have to say is that they have a quick bug fix that clone will no longer taunt when the player presses left or right taunt inputs. This bug allowed Forceburn to destroy his clone in the air, leaving a smoke cloud that he could use for his recovery. I actually find this to be kind of cool, like the idea of like you set up a clone and then you make your clone go high and then you break it on your own and then you recover with that smoke. I guess it probably is unintentional, but that does seem like a pretty neat like strategy, so maybe this could come back later on if Forceburn needs some quality of life fixes that aren't just like flat number buffs, you know? And then for Edalus, we do have a few changes here. His forward special icicles will now be destroyed when passing through blast zones. There was like a video on Twitter where like an Edalus like sniped a Crag's pillar and it was like way in the bottom blast zone. It was very crazy. They also say his up special hitbox reaches 20 centimeters higher and no longer has 2 hitboxes to cover the foreground and background. They also note that separating it into 2 hitboxes made it worse at hitting hurtboxes in the center of the gameplay plane. So now, it just reaches higher up in general to make it consistently hit grounded opponents standing next to Edalus. This is actually kind of cool because I've seen a lot of Edaluses start to use his up special and neutral more with the buffs from last week. So I think that this will actually probably make up special like a lot stronger in neutral and be more consistent to use. They also say that there's 2 bug fixes for him, being that his up smash's projectile intangibility is now properly removed when he starts falling. Oh, it's up special, so silly of me. And then another bug fix for canceling the frozen state into another custom state, like Crag's pillar fall state, will no longer preserve the armor from the frozen state. Which I guess this just means like it's like, if you're leaving the frozen state, like using a strong on Crag's pillar, you would fall. And remove your ice. So I will say this was our smallest patch so far, I believe. Like this is a very much like nothing patch like I was trying to say towards the start. But the reason why is because Genesis X2, I think is what they're calling it, isn't about a week and a half from now. So it will be being played on this patch. And as the devs did say in the past, they do not want to have big events have patches that are like big and like game changing right before them. Because if that were to happen, let's say you main Maple, right, and Maple gets gutted and you go to Genesis in a week and a half, and it's like, what do I do? Like, my character's like terrible now, like this isn't the character I practice with. You know what I mean? Or let's say if you main Zetterburn and you hate to fight Crag and suddenly Crag gets giga buffed and he kind of just like runs you over. Like that'd be a hair unfortunate, you know? So this patch is a lot smaller, but after Genesis, I don't think there's any big events coming up. If there are, put them in the comments so everyone knows about them. But I think that we should have a pretty sizable patch, not next week, but the week after that. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm curious to see like what you guys think about this kind of patch culture where there is like small patches and then there is like sizable patches, and it's not super consistent when we get those like massive patches compared to when we get the small patches. I'm just curious what y'all think, and I'd really like to make a video in the future talking about it. Just remember, by the way, to comment and let me know what characters you want to see. I have a video planned for later on this week, but I'd also like to make a video talking about upcoming characters that'll probably get out sometime next week. As always, thank you for watching so much and getting to the end. If you want to see more content, there's a playlist on screen. Y'all probably already know how to get to it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.